Welcome to All Things Food. I'm John Woods, and this is a channel where we not only love to cook, but we cook to love. And I tell you, someone said about this channel, I like your channel because it's food for the common man, and that's exactly what we try to do here. Most of our recipes are pretty quick, they're fairly simple, they're economical, but above everything, they're quite delicious, and you don't mind cooking them for your family and for your friends. And today we're going to cook crispy spatchcock chicken. I'm going to show you today in some simple steps how your chicken can be crispy every single time. No matter where you cook it, in the oven, on a smoker grill like this, pellet grill, or on a big egg, green egg, or a gas grill, wherever you cook it, it'll be the same every single time. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to do something today called spatchcocking a chicken. And to me, this is a revolutionary way for most people to cook chicken. So what I like to do is spatchcocking a chicken, and I look like a surgeon over here with all these tools and things over here. And we're going to use every one of them. But the first thing I do is I come in and I trim off that little bit of excess fat right in there, and I discard it. Try to clean it up just a little bit. It doesn't take a whole lot. And that's all we're going to do on that side. Then this is the breast side of the chicken. As you can see, that rounded breast side, the wings are pointed up, the legs are pointed up. We don't want to cut on that side of the chicken. We want to turn the chicken over so the wings are pointing down, the legs are pointing down. And right here, I hope you can see it real good on the camera there, right there is the backbone. The backbone is the only thing we want to remove. Sometimes it's fairly easy to do. Sometimes it's a little difficult, and it may take you a little while to learn to do it. But I found if you're a novice and haven't really done this much before, it's really good if you just take your knife and try to go down one side of the backbone just to expose it, and then come over here and go down the other side of the backbone just to get a little exposure there so you can see what you're doing. What I like to do when I spatchcock a chicken, you can do it with a knife if you want to. So I'll start there at the neck area and get it started just a little bit, and then I'll turn it around. And I like to use my kitchen shears. That seems to be the best way for me to do it. But you can use a knife if you have a heavy knife. But you can cut right down that dotted line there, and it gets a little difficult right there, but you can cut right down that. And in just a matter of seconds, you literally have that backbone out of there. So we got our backbone out there, and we're going to set it aside because, again, we're going to use that to make some stock and stuff later. So we will set that aside and keep that for a minute. Now, what we do now, a couple things you can do. There's a breastbone right there, and we want to break that breastbone. You can take your shears and cut there, cut down a little bit. Or you can take it and turn it over like so and actually break the breastbone with your hands there, whichever way fits you best. So there we have it, a spatchcock chicken. That didn't take long to do that. Now in preparation for this recipe today, we're going to do something that I think is really good, and I do this with all my turkeys. And I have a syringe over here, and I have some melted butter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this chicken around. It's close to Thanksgiving, so I'm thinking turkey. Turn this chicken around, and I'm going to fill up this syringe with melted butter. Now what I want to do now, this is kind of cool to do this. It makes a big difference. I'm going to try to get it over here where you can see it. I'll insert that syringe in one place into that breast all the way down, and then I'm going to gently squeeze the syringe and release the butter into that breast. I'm going to go back into the same hole that I used a minute ago, right there. And then I'm going to stick it down there. And as I do it, I'm going to just turn the syringe around and get that butter worked all the way around there. I'm going to do that. And then I'll even do it down in the thighs. So what I'm going to do now, right over here, I have a pot of water, just regular old water, nothing in it, boiling. And I'm going to take that boiling water and I'm going to slowly pour it all over the skin of this chicken. Well, what's that going to do? It's going to help render out two things, the water that's in the breast, in the skin, and it's going to render out the fat that's in the skin. And that rendering the water out and the fat out is going to help produce a crispy chicken every single time. You're going to love this method if you've never used it before. You're going to love putting that butter in there. You can put Cajun seasoning in. Whatever you want to do, the sky's the limit. Sometimes I'll just put herbs up underneath the skin here and do that. But this is a great, great method. So there's the chicken. I'm going to take this scalding hot water. And you can see the skin actually tightening up as I do that. It's amazing to see that. I mean, it's just shrinking everywhere. And it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's rendering the fat out. It's rendering out the water out of the skin. It just shrinks it and tightens it up. Really, it's tremendous to watch it. So pour that right on there. Takes a good two quarts of water maybe to do this. So we're going to let that happen for just a second. Let that render out a bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that chicken out of there. I'm going to stick it right over here on a sheet pan. You can use whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Now we're going to take our paper towels and we're going to dry it front and back. Pat it dry really, really good. And we're going to take some kosher salt. Kosher salt is used to draw moisture and blood out of things. So we're going to take our kosher salt and we're going to sprinkle very liberally on the skin of that chicken. Don't worry about it, it's not going to be too much. And what's going to happen, we're going to put this in the refrigerator on a wire rack overnight. I like a good 24 hours to do this, if not a little bit more. Nice generous seasoning of kosher. Now that you'll say, well, that seems like a lot of salt. It really isn't. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator overnight. And what's going to happen, it's going to draw more moisture out of that skin. And then tomorrow when we pull it out of the refrigerator, it's going to have almost a leathery, real tight appearance. So let's go ahead and stick it in. We're going to put it on the rack, stick it in the refrigerator, and I'm going to show you what happens next. See how it has that real leathery appearance? It's real tacky, and it's very dry. All the moisture's out of that skin. Well, that's exactly what we want. That's going to give us the crisp skin that we desire. Now we have a lot of options here we can do. We can stick this on, we're going to cook this on a pellet smoker today. We could cook it on an egg. We could cook it on a barbecue grill. We could cook it in the oven. Whatever you want to do, but today we're going to cook it on my Smokin' Brothers pellet grill because it's going to be so wonderful and delicious. And so I can put any kind of seasoning on this that I want to at this point. I personally want to do a barbecue today, and I love my friend Malcolm Reed's Killer Hog. You've seen me use this a lot of times on the channel. And I'm going to give a very generous coating. I meant to do that on the other side first. Here we go. I got ahead of myself. We're going to do it on this side. And I did not salt this side, by the way, just that one side. So I'm going to put a generous coating of that on there, pat it in, come over here. This is the only side that was salted. I'm going to go ahead and put a good generous coating of this on there. You're going to love this chicken. Absolutely tremendous. And what we may do after we cook this, if we feel like it, we may come back and baste a little bit of barbecue sauce on this. And you talk about a great barbecue chicken, this is the best you'll ever have. So we're going to go out to the grill now, and we're going to put this thing on the grill, and we're going to have some good chicken. All right, the moment of truth. We're out here. We have our chicken prepared, and I'm so excited. I'm standing here at my Smokin' Brothers pellet grill. A great grill, and I'm going to do a little advertisement here, even though I don't get anything for this. This grill is so fabulous. I love to cook on it, and I cook on it several times a week. But what I like is that everyone in my family can cook on it because all they do is come out and push a button and jack the temperature up to where they want it, and voila, it's ready to go. And so we're going to cook on it. I've got it up at 375 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken on here, right there toward the back. Isn't that pretty? We're going to leave that on here for probably, let's say 45 minutes. Just like that with the skin side up. We're not going to turn this chicken at all, which makes this so easy. And we're going to come back and check the temperature on it. And then the question is, do we sauce or do we not sauce? We'll come back with the answer. Now let me tell you something about the smokers, brother, while I'm here. I'm doing something today. Look at this. Right here, those are Kingsford charcoal pellets. That's something new. I've never tried these before, but something interesting. We'll see how it works out. But that's Kingsford charcoal pellets. What a great thought that was from somebody. So we'll see how it works. All right, it's been a little over 45 minutes that this has been on the grill. We're going to come back and check it here. Let some of that heat out. We're looking for 165 on the breast. I always like my thighs and legs to be 175, 180 right in there. We check right down in the middle. We're looking good there, right actually above 180. Notice how crispy that skin is. I mean, it almost feels like sandpaper. It's really remarkable. I wish you could actually jump through the screen and see this, but we were talking about crispy chicken. This is crispy chicken. So we're going to go ahead and doctor this up a little bit. I've got my favorite barbecue sauce on here, Sweet Christie's. John and Christy Bioch out of Annandale, Minnesota make this, and it's award-winning sauce. They're good friends of mine, and it's really, really good stuff. We're going to go ahead and just lather it down really, really good. We're going to let this stay in here for another 10 minutes and let that sauce kind of set up on it. I tell you what, we're on the road to some really great chicken. Be very generous with this sauce here. Close that lid. There we go. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right, we glazed the chicken. It's been in here about 10 minutes with that barbecue sauce on it. Just pull it open and see what we have here. Look how gorgeous that is. Man, that is absolutely award-winning beautiful right there. Let me get it out and put it on this plate. See it a little better. The plate may not be big enough. There we go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect right there, folks. Look at that beautiful spatchcock chicken, the crispy skin, and that barbecue sauce on it, I think was a ticket. You don't have to put the sauce on it, but man, that is really a beautiful piece of chicken. Thanks for watching today. A beautiful spatchcock chicken here. I hope you learned something. Like the video today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And look forward to seeing you next week. But remember, above everything this week, not only love to cook as I love cooking today, but cook to love.